Hi guys, just Stephen Payne here from No Pain No Gain Fitness. I'm going to make a little video series just going over all the different food groups that our calories come from. Now, a lot of diets out there, especially slimming groups and things like that, bang on about just decreasing calories and a calorie is a calorie. Well, that's not true, and each food group can affect your body differently. So if you're looking to lose weight, it's important to know what's what, so you can make the right choices in order to make sure you're not spinning your wheels or making any choices that are stopping you from losing weight, and you're eating enough of the foods that you should and less of the ones that you shouldn't. Makes sense? Okay, so basically in this video series, I'm going to go through the fact that all calories come from three main sources, so three different food groups. Okay, they're called macronutrients. Macros consist of these three sources. Okay, so here we've got carbohydrates, okay, proteins, and fats. Here we've got like fruits and veggies, okay, they also fall under the carbohydrate category, but because they're not as calorie dense, they're sort of separated, but basically you could um, say these two are both carbohydrates, okay, but you want to be um, obviously able to differentiate what's different about them, so I'm going to go through that. Um, okay, so the first video, this one is just going to be based purely on carbohydrates. Okay, so carbs are the body's preferred source of energy. They also come from three different types, and they're not evil. Although you should moderate and obviously be careful on what ones you're choosing when you're looking to lose weight. They're not really the enemy. Okay, as mentioned, they're our body's preferred source of fuel. So our brain, everything like that, relies on carbs ideally to function properly. It's usually the fact that we're eating too many too frequently and we're not active enough. That's where the issue lies. But if you're looking to lose weight, they should definitely be moderated, and I'll get more into that in a little bit. Okay, so types of carbs. The first type is simple carbohydrates. Now, the reason they're called simple is because they're quickly converted to glucose by the body, so they digest very quickly and turn into sugar, enter the bloodstream, and that in turn spikes insulin. Insulin's released from the pancreas, which is then there to shuttle all that sugar out of your blood and put it into the cells. So some will get stored inside your muscles to be used as energy, some will get stored into your liver as some reserves, and then the rest will get converted to fat. So when you're eating simple carbs, this process happens really, really quickly. The carbohydrates are turned to glucose, go straight into your bloodstream, and then everything's moving along. And when you're in that storage mode, you can't burn fat. Okay, so we're looking to avoid these as much as possible when looking to lose weight. Okay, so they're not great for weight loss. They're mostly refined and processed, and should only be consumed post-exercise to help replenish the glycogen stores. So once you've burnt all that energy that I mentioned in your muscles, you need to replenish that just for optimal health and optimal bodily function. So the carb types are simple carbs that people eat a lot of. Personally, these are ones I used to eat a lot of when I was overweight, and I know a lot of people who still are. Okay, so sugar and all that it contains is, so I'm talking biscuits, cakes, sweets, chocolate, jellies, you name it. If it's sweet, it's got sugar in it, it's not ideal for weight loss. White bread, white pasta, potato is also quite simple, but it's not as bad as the ones I've just mentioned, but still limited. Noodles, rice, pastry, and cereals. So you need to treat all these precautions. So cereals such as like Cocoa Pops, cornflakes, Frosty, Special K. Don't be bought into all the marketing material. They're not ideal for you. They're not going to get you in super shape, and they're not really the healthiest options you could be having when looking to lose weight. So all those ones just mentioned there, treat them with caution. Again, like things like crisp as well, not ideal. So you want to start avoiding those ones as much as you can. Okay, the next one is complex carbs. Now, complex carbs are well better for weight loss. They digest a lot slower because they've got more fiber in them. So again, it's like a trickle effect, and that energy will be slowly released into your bloodstream. So your insulin levels won't be as high. Your body won't be releasing as much. It'll be dealing with it more steadily. So it's going to regulate the whole thing. It won't just put your body into panic. It's like, oh, what am I going to do with all this, blah blah blah, and then you're storing loads of fat. So it stabilizes your blood sugars, contains more essential vitamins and minerals, and the improved digestion. So ultimately, these ones are much healthier. Okay, so Complex carb sources are things like brown rice, oats and grains, beans and lentils, 100% whole wheat products such as brown pasta and brown bread, but just make sure that the bread does say it's 100% whole wheat, just to be certain, because a lot of products out there only have a certain amount of whole grain in them, and it's not ideal. And quinoa is another one, which is a good substitute for rice and stuff like that. It is a grain, but I thought I'd put it on its own because it's something that I think is fantastic for people looking to lose weight, because it's high in protein, and it's a nice substitute to have because it's low carb, and basically you can have it with protein where you'd have a curry, you wouldn't have the rice, you'd have that instead. So give it a little go. Sweet potato, that's another good one. Just trade that in for your usual potato, and obviously chips and that are off. You can't have chips, save oven chips, things like that. Avoid, have sweet potato, cut it into wedges, spice them up with whatever spices you want, bang them in the oven. Lovely. Okay, so there's a few pictures of them there. Okay, so this one's fibrous carbs. This is the third type of carbohydrate. So we're talking like vegetables now. So as mentioned before, you get fibrous carbohydrates and starchy carbohydrates. Fibrous ones, that's your veg, mostly green leafy vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, lettuce, things like that. Kale. There's tons of options, that you can have. Now these are really, really low calorie, and with the fiber, they just help regulate everything. So a meal full of veggies and protein, rather than having like pasta on its own and all these things and very little protein, it's not optimal. So you want to be looking at having this one as much as possible, eating your veg and making sure that you're getting enough out of it, okay, with your weight loss goals. So there's also fruit, opt for more berries and apples, but does contain fructose, which is a form of sugar, so moderate. Don't eat too much, try and keep it steady. Obviously, a couple of apples a day is going to be a lot better than eating chocolate, so opt for fruit when you've got a sweet craving. Just be careful with things like bananas, high in energy, so consume them sparingly. Post exercise is a good time to have them, or just before, just to get some energy in your body. So your fibrous carb types. So as mentioned, fibrous carbs are low in calories, loaded with fiber. Consume as much as you like. It's pretty much a free food, so when you're hungry, this is what you'll be going to. Loaded with essential vitamins and minerals, and also stabilize your blood sugar levels, which is ultimately what we're trying to achieve. We don't want high blood sugar levels because that's going to stop us burning fat. So let's sort out that and watch the weight just drop off very healthily and properly. Okay, so to bulk out your meals, you're going to be having more fibrous carbs. So as mentioned, what can happen basically when we're just eating, say you wake up in the morning, you just have cereal and milk, very carb heavy, it's going to cause your blood sugar levels to rise. Okay, so we're coming straight up here, we got out of bed, and look, we just fly past our fat burning zone, because your body's just going to be storing, shuttling all that energy in to the cells and basically storing a lot of fat, and then it can take up to 3 hours, okay, 3 hours to get back down, okay, for your blood sugar levels to stabilize again, where you'll be then burning fat. Okay, so what happens a lot of the time is people will have cereal, okay, might get to just before dinner or something, can make have a bottle of Lucozade or a canned drink full of sugar again, and then what can happen is it can go like up and down, up and down, up and down, and it never really gets to where you want it to be. So might be coming down here, have something else sweet, and you'll just be craving sugar all the time. You'll be on this cycle. So you want to eat foods that are going to stabilize your blood sugar levels. So, a small bowl of porridge, a protein shake in the morning, right? That'll just bring you up just enough. It'll be a nice, slow, steady trickle effect. All that energy will be coming in, and everything will be stable. Okay, so we want to stay low. We don't want to be spiking it with sugar. It's something that completely just messes with everything. So, if anyone's ever saying to you, you can eat as much rice and as much pasta as you like, then they're wrong, because you're never going to get back into your fat burning zone, and that's where we need to be. So when your diet's carb heavy, your blood sugars are up, you're constantly going to be out of it. Okay, So meaning to get back to a burning, not a storage phase, can take up to 3 hours, and you keep repeating this and you'll find burning fat incredibly difficult, basically impossible. So we need to take that into account. So here's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to be constantly just snacking, eating loads of carbohydrates, blood sugar's going to be out of whack, body's going to be out of whack, and you're never going to get to your fat loss goal. You're just going to be there spinning your wheels like this little moggy, just getting absolutely nowhere. So don't get caught up spinning your wheels and never allowing your body to start burning your fat reserves. Consuming frequent sugary snacks will repeat this cycle, as well as eating too many carbs. Blood sugar levels will rarely stabilise, making burning fat stupidly difficult. Okay. So to summarise everything, eat less carbs, excluding fibrous, on non-training days. So if you know you're going to be inactive, you got a job where you're sitting down a lot, don't be eating tons and tons of carbohydrates, because you're not going to be burning the energy that's being put into your body, and your blood sugar levels are never going to get back to normal. Instead, opt for more fibrous carbs. Again, like I said, the veggies, okay, and have that with lean protein. Protein's going to be the next video. So if you want to learn more about protein, what I'm on about when I've mentioned that, watch the next video. So avoid simple carbs for fat loss, right? Sugar and things like that are not essential by any means. So it's not just the calorie content in these things. It's, as mentioned, it's the blood sugar that you need to watch out for, and obviously the insulin effect. And again, too much insulin being produced will then cause you to become insensitive, and you could become type 2 diabetic, and it's something that you definitely want to avoid. So if you're like an endurance athlete, imagine like you're running all the time and you need that quick energy, and you see a lot of cyclists and things like that, that's what it's good for. They'll eat like whatever they want because they want the sugar. They need to restore their energy quickly, otherwise they'll just become fatigued and worn out. So, but for fat loss, not required. Avoid it altogether. If you're just looking to tone up for maintenance or creating more tone, again, you know, building a bit more muscle, things like that, and you're not overweight to begin with, then keep the carbs in your meals. You know, have them with every meal. Again, the more complex things like that, and monitor your results. See how you go. If you feel like you're gaining a bit more fat than what you'd like, then reduce where required or just up your activity level. Simple. Eat carbs after exercise every time though, to replenish your glycogen stores that you've burned through exercise. So you know everything's back to optimal level. You're not feeling fatigued, and you're less likely to obviously store those carbohydrates as fat post exercise, because your body needs that energy to put back what it's just used, okay, in the cells. Okay, that won't affect your fat burning. That'll still be going on. Okay, so I hope that was useful. Obviously you can review it, go over it. If there's any questions, you can get in touch with me through the website www.nopainnogainfitness.com, or you can call, text, email me. All information's on the website. So yeah, next video is going to be protein. Again, revise that. Avoid the simple carbs and eat more complex and fibrous. Okay, next one's going to be protein. Stephen Payne from No Pain No Gain Fitness. Speak soon. Bye.